do.
Well,
That's
yeah,
having a do, isn't it?
yeah.
How many friends
Went
is
up
there?
to Sunderland for a couple
Am I
of
going to
days.
keep it on?
The rest of the season, Kai.
Plan that I don't keep it on and I get hot because
How many
I'm
friends
being...
were there? then?
6.
6. Oh.
I didn't realise it was that
How many
bad.
friends, if you were going for a birthday...
Torn
how many
hamstring.
friends would you
Who's that?
invite?
Kai,
Like
torn
friends.
hamstring during the
Havertz.
break in Dubai.
How many friends would I go? I suppose maximum.
I'm going toilet.
Now, a lot of Arsenal supporters wanted Arsenal to sign a new striker during the January transfer window. They tried and failed to do that, but their injury list up front is, something that is really concerning because Gabriel Martinelli is out with a hamstring injury. Gabriel Jesus is out for the season with an ACL injury. Bukayo Saka has had a long-term hamstring injury. He may well be back next month. But if Kai Havertz does miss the rest of the season, then you are scratching your head and thinking, what is Mikel Arteta going to do? What options does he really have? Now, I think we just have to wait until Friday for Arteta's news conference before their game against Leicester on Saturday for him to give us an update and confirm one way or the other whether Havertz is in fact out for the whole season.
Well, Cabby, stay there because I'm delighted to say that former Arsenal striker Alan Smith waiting patiently to speak with us now. And Alan, I imagine this is just the worst news for Arsenal fans. Another injury for an attacker.
Yeah, I think everybody was saying, well, you can afford to lose some, but you can't afford to lose Kai Havertz now because, as Carve just said, with Jesus being out for the rest of the season, I always thought Arsenal needed a centre forward anyway, even if those boys were fit. So yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare for the Gunners that, if indeed he's going to be out for the rest of the campaign, and it's going to be a case of mixing and matching. Trossard's played as a false 9 before now. He's done it this season. Raheem Sterling might have to chip in a way that he hasn't done so far. It's been really disappointing since he's come to Arsenal, Sterling. But yeah, it was going to be hard for Arsenal in this title push as it was. Now it looks nigh on impossible.
Yeah, and Cabby, let's just come back to you because you touched on the fact that throughout the transfer window they were talking about this need to bring in a striker. They didn't bring one in. What were the reasons behind that? Why didn't Mikel Arteta bring in a striker?
Well, look, they tried to sign a striker, but obviously strikers, especially at the level required to play for Arsenal, they're very hard to come by. There's not that many strikers out there who are good enough to play for Arsenal. And the ones who are good enough to play for Arsenal typically only become available during the summer transfer window. So yes, Arsenal tried to sign a striker. Everybody knows they made a £40 million bid, which was rejected by Aston Villa for Ollie Watkins. But I think apart from that, there are lots of moving parts when it comes to transfers. There may well have been people at Arsenal behind the scenes who were pushing harder for them to sign a striker, but then there will have been other voices saying, hey, hold on a second, aren't we better off waiting until the summer when we can get our number 1 or number 2 target rather than trying to sign someone who may be available now? Hindsight is a wonderful thing. Yes, of course, if the people in power at Arsenal had known last month that Kai Havertz was going to be injured and could potentially miss the rest of the season, maybe they would have tried even harder to sign a striker, because we've got a chance of winning the Champions League as well, and it could all turn to dust because we don't have a recognised striker. By who?